Hello, YouTube. Can you guys hear me? Yep. Sorry, it's probably really loud on your guys' part. But GZTV, what's going on? We're back with another video, and in this video, we are going to be talking about the third episode of season 2 of Ozark. We're going to be covering a fuck ton of episodes this weekend. Let's see. We got 3 more episodes to watch this weekend. Like, we're cruising through this show. I mean, the new format I'm doing for the channel is way better than what I'm doing now. So, it's the weekend pretty much for me, so I'm going to have 2 videos coming out today, both live streams. Tomorrow we'll edit like a park video for 2K. Tomorrow we'll also talk about Ozark again. But let's talk about, not everything is negotiable here. The third episode of the new season of Ozark improved, or not the new season, what am I talking about? The second season of Ozark improved slightly over the last, but still frustrates with some tricky, thin screenwriting. Hopefully the writers are putting pieces in place for a more consistent season to come. This one ends strongly enough to think that may be the case, I don't know. Once again, it's all about the casino. I mean, this is a really big talking point. This is like a big business proposition that came up at the start of this season. The bill to increase the state cap passed, but at a great cost and in a very controversial way too. And if anyone finds out how the hell they got this done, it's going to ruin the reputation of a lot of people. The episode opens with the suicide of the one state senator who is bullied into skipping the vote. You're depressed, right? Like, apparently Charles Wilkin, as enforcer, used the fact that Senator Blake had clinical depression to push him off the vote so it would pass, sending Blake into a depressive spiral that ended in his suicide. It's super fucked up. I mean, the way they did this, the way they planned this out, who would plan out such a thing? That's just super cold-blooded. I don't know. No remorse there. Very fucked up. Yeah. You got to do a lot of things without remorse if you're going to be a part of some corrupt businesses, I suppose. How will Wendy and Charlie get out of this potential public relations nightmare? They got to make sure this shit doesn't get out that they're doing this. Meanwhile, the Bird Enterprises operation gets essentially shut down. Lickety Splits and the Blue Cat Lodge get visited by inspectors, as does the funeral home, because people are kind of finding out, hey, Marty Bird's investing in these companies. Hey, we kind of had an investigation on him back in Chicago. Let's fuck his life up. Let's fuck his businesses up. As these events come on the heels of Wendy learning that Charlie wants to put not just a casino, but a hotel and shopping mall on the Snell's property, the Birds assume that it is the local puppet master who has halted their operations. Given that this guy's kind of like manipulating a lot of things around here now, they're like, okay, this guy's doing this, so we pretty much blackmail him to letting him put shit on their land so their operation can continue. But no, I don't think he has anything to do with it, actually. The FBI is undergoing an investigation. They have Rachel involved. Rachel Garrigan, I think her name is. And yeah, putting a hotel and shopping mall on someone's like acreage of property is kind of crazy. I guess a casino is too, but of course, loyal viewers of shows like Ozark know that possibly isn't true, but most of the action in this episode relies on the Birds believing an assumption that's not corrected. You pretty much can assume it's the FBI, though. First, they go to the Snells to try to get them to relent to Wilk's plan, but they are adamant that their land remains pure. There will be a casino and nothing else. And how ironic is it that they say that? Pure? A shopping mall isn't as pure as a casino? A casino is nothing but fucking dirty money, nothing but vice money that people will bet away. I don't know, it's very ironic. Marty and Wendy try to convince them to reconsider, but an even bigger problem comes over the horizon when Wendy Bird learns that Blake's widow is planning to sue Charlie because she kind of knows what he did and knows what's going on, knows that there was some tampering going on. Of course, she knows that won't work. No one could possibly win a lawsuit when a clinically depressed person commits suicide, but the PR could forever damage her relationship with Wilkes and maybe even kill the casino. He could probably shut it down. He could probably get a bill passed in the government shutting down a casino. I don't know who would oppose that unless one of the politicians like regularly attend this place, but yeah, man. I don't know how you're gonna get out of that situation. In one of the best scenes of the episode, Wendy goes to speak to the widow Blake, proposing that they start a foundation for suicide prevention in her husband's name. Yeah, pretty much buying her out, and she admits it. They will start with a $1 million donation. It's a much smarter, better plan for Blake, but also something that will keep an illegal operation afloat. propping up at least 2 drug empires. I mean, this little thing alone is really helping a lot of things at the end of the day. Ozark is often at its best when exploring how something so good, suicide prevention, can coexist with something so damaging. Like, hey, we're preaching to a church, but there's crack and cocaine in your drugs and poppy and all that stuff in your hymnals. So there you go. While Wendy is working with the political angle, the Snells explore the forceful one, lighting Wilkes' boat on fire in the middle of the night. Something that apparently puts them in the mood for sex. That's a very interesting thing for the couple to bond over. These are pretty evil, fucked up people. You kind of learn about that throughout the show, of course. The best scene in this episode takes place near the end, as the Snells and Birds have a celebratory dinner over the deer that Jonah Bird killed, which is nice. I mean, he killed his first deer. What a big moment for the little guy. Both couples thinking that they were responsible for getting the casino operation back up and running, both of them trying to take credit. I think it is pretty funny, to be honest. Of course, the casino wasn't the only narrative that progressed this episode. There's other things we need to talk about. There's other characters we need to talk about. You guys see that picture of Ruth Langmore there as well. I mean, maybe she's not super important to this episode, but we might have to talk about her briefly. While that was going down too, the women in Marty Bird's circle fell deeper into the hole created by their interactions with him. Rachel finally came home, wired up by Agent Petty to get more information about Bird Enterprises. Again, she was pretty much not necessarily blackmailed. You can't really say that if it's the FBI, but she's used as an informant to get a lesser punishment. I guess you could say that. Petty may be able to sell a few of his colleagues on Rachel being a better confidential informant, or CI, than his last one, but this is obviously not going to end well. CI, that reminds me of Dexter. Wow, what a great show that was. I need to rewatch that sometime. That show was amazing. Holy shit. Sorry. Rachel almost spills the beans after getting drunk one night. I mean, she probably shouldn't be getting fucking drunk when she's working as a CI for the FBI. Sorry, I dropped my marker here. Having an alcoholic, depressed CI is never a good idea. Yes, Marty needs Rachel to get the blue cat back up and legal in the eyes of the inspectors, but what will he honestly tell her after that, especially given she just stole from him? Get the fuck out? I don't know. And how long until Rachel pushes back against the aggressive Petty and clues Martin in to what's going down? Probably an episode or two. That'll be an interesting kind of dynamic to pay attention to as we get through this season, I guess. Once again, the most interesting arc of an Ozark episode belonged to Julia Garner's Ruth Langmore, a smart young woman trying to get away from the Langmore curse, but possibly convinced at the end that she never will. She spends most of this chapter negotiating a way out of operational stasis for Bird Enterprises. When the strip club, resort, and funeral home get shut down, she thinks outside of the box and goes to a local doc named Hearns and offers an injection of money to invest in this business. Because they wouldn't know it belongs to Marty. I mean, she works with Marty, but they don't know that, Yeah. She tries to bring in another business for the Birds to move cash. At first, the owner pushes her away, but she gets her father to cause enough damage that he eventually relents. I thought she was the one that did that. I don't know. But Marty doesn't bite. He basically dismisses all of her success and informs her that he has to take her off the books while the government investigates their business to get the casino approved. It's the kind of thing that Ruth may have understood under better conditions, but with her father constantly demeaning her and all the work she did to make it happen, she's completely crushed, just morally defeated. It doesn't help that her cousin Wyatt, to whom Ruth is clearly a mother figure, writes an essay on the Langmore curse and will always follow him. Garner's voice crack and delivery of that essay is further evidence of how incredible she is on this show. I mean, Julia Garner's a fantastic actress. In the end, Ruth gives the keys to the dock to Cade and advises that he could maybe even chop a few stolen boats there for extra cash. Introducing an illegal operation into Marty Bird's even more illegal operation, this can't end well. Something's going to happen. And there's going to be consequences. So, yeah, really interesting episode here. It feels more of a transitional than like a very monumental episode in the series, but I still appreciate, what the show creators did here. I don't think it's necessarily fantastic, but yeah, I mean, there is a lot of improvement. There's a lot of room for improvement for this show, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. GZTV, as always, giving you guys the best TV show content out there. We're covering Ozark. We've covered The Walking Dead. We've covered Dexter, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. many shows. I mean, we've even talked about Stranger Things a little bit, Outer Banks,